Hello and welcome into California University of Pennsylvania as we have another PSAC West matchup as the California Vulcans will be taking on the Seton Hill Griffins. Welcome into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck, and joined alongside me today are two friends yet again, Stephen Ruffing and Dylan Godet. And Dylan, we have a big matchup here today with California coming off of a loss last time these two teams played and really just trying to bounce back.
Yeah, we'll get to how close these two teams are in the regional rankings soon. But yes, big game between these two teams. Seton Hill knocked off California last time they played. So does California have what it takes to get revenge here tonight?
And last time Seton Hill played, they actually went to UPJ and got the victory 66-59 in a game where Cheyenne Tress led the team with 24 points.
Yeah, definitely. They're coming off a win, which is the opposite of California. So a little bit of momentum there for Seton Hill. We'll see how that translates into points here tonight.
And you touched on a little bit about how California came away with a loss. And Steve, I'm going to direct this over to you. They came away with a loss by 30 points to IUP, a very talented IUP team.
Yeah, you know, talented is an understatement for that IUP team. Going up there, traveling to Indiana, facing this really good IUP team, didn't work out in the Vulcans' favor. The Vulcans went down 79-49. They lost by 30. Worst loss that I know as far as we've been here for the Lady Vulcans. You know, it's they're looking to really step back into this one and keep that pace for a playoff spot.
And hopefully being at home will allow them to score more than 50 points as well. And we touched on it just a little bit as well, how California, the last time they played Seton Hill, they lost in a game, actually it was 64-58.
Yes, Seton Hill has caused California problems at Seton Hill the past couple seasons. They lost last season to California at they were close to losing last season at Seton Hill, but California lost this year at Seton Hill. So California's going to have a lot to prove against Seton Hill. Can they defeat them? That's one of those teams. These teams are battling for that third spot in the PSAC West. So it's a big battle between these two teams today.
It's a big matchup as well in the regional rankings because of the fact that they haven't changed. They haven't changed at all. And that's very weird. And, you know, Steve, we were talking pregame about how maybe they don't even look at the scores. They just looked at California, lost to IUP on the road. But that's crazy that they didn't change at all.
It is, you know, maybe California moves down a spot, but that's all that I could think of. California went to Indiana, faced an IUP team that was very talented. Yes, they lost by 30, but you don't look at the scores. You look at their traveling schedule, and you look at that loss. And, of course, to me, I don't think California deserves to move up or move down.
I agree with that. And, Dylan, you have anything to say?
Yeah, this is a big game to determine those rankings, though, with California sitting at 6. Seton Hill sitting at 8. The winner of this game really has the upper hand on getting into that regional final. I know we haven't reached PSAC West tournament play yet, so that could factor in as well, but this is really the last regular season game for these two teams to decide those regional rankings.
Well, that's all we have for pregame. Stay tuned as tip-off is next right here on CUTV.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it. We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. Once again, I am Danny Beck, and joined alongside me today are my two color commentary, Stephen Ruffing and Dylan Godet. And getting back into this matchup, guys, this is a big game for California as well as it is for Seton Hill, just due to the fact that these regional rankings, when they came out, they didn't change at all. And this is really the tale of the tape to see why these two teams match up so well.
See if Seton Hill maybe takes that to heart a bit, that California suffering such a big loss didn't affect those rankings, and they're still behind them. But again, tail of the tape, Seton Hill averaging more points than this California team. California at around 10 points less points against per game, so that's just California's defense there as well. 3-point percentage, Seton Hill has a slight edge, as well as in free throw percentage, Seton Hill also has the edge. California does have the edge, though, in turnovers and steals. So more of a pace team there for California, but Seton Hill takes care of the basketball.
Just want to mention real quick, we didn't mention in our open, we were wearing Hawaiian shirts. This is a Hawaiian night here today. I just kind of want to leave the viewers with a little bit of a question, wonder why we're all wearing Hawaiian shirts in the middle of February. But yeah, it's Hawaiian night, so I promise you we're not delirious.
Well, I mean, the weather we had yesterday, I mean, who could blame us for busting out the Hawaiian shirts, of course. But yeah, didn't want to leave the audience a little confused on that one.
And we're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem. And welcome back. And we're going to have some starters now for you here today. Steve, you want to break down California?
We have number 2, the 5'7" guard from Elizabeth, PA, Abby Sporio. Number 3, the 6-foot forward from Harrisburg, Shatera Parsons. Number 11, 5'7" guard from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gianna Flood Francis. 5'10" guard from Warren, PA, DJ Hahn. And the 5'8" guard from Raytown, Mia Couchon.
I switched it up a little bit. I guess we can go over to Seton Hill now with Dylan.
We'll start out with Jenna Kaufman, number 1 there, starting at the guard/4 position. She's out of Damascus, Maryland. Next is Alexandria Hay. She is from Canada, getting the start there at the guard position for Seton Hill. Next is Lindsay Smith-Sud, there from Erie. She's a senior as well. Next is a freshman getting the start for Seton Hill, Cheyenne Trest from Canaan Mac, so not too far here from California. Maybe some of her family coming out in attendance for tonight's matchup. And next is Hannah Laszlo, the junior out of York, Pennsylvania.
We were talking a little bit in the pregame, Dylan, about just how big of a loss California took on the road this past Saturday. A 30-point loss. How do you bounce back from that?
That's really going to be tough. We noticed how loose this team was in warm-ups against IUP. A little bit more focused here tonight. That may have been what went into the preparation for this game. But I'd like to know what happened in that first practice since suffering that 30-point loss. That may be Coach Strom's worst loss as a coach here at California. So interested how she handled that as a coach, because that's a new spot as a coach. Being a team that's favored in most of the games you play and then go against a team that you've already beaten once this season and lose by 30 points, that's got to be frustrating as a coach, and I think the players as well may have taken that to heart. And this may be a turning point in California's season. We might see a different team after that loss.
You got to hope for that, as well as now for Seton Hill, kind of the underdogs, if you will. Although they beat California the last time they played, Seton Hill now has to come to California and try to see if they can keep that up. So now we're going to see the tip-off here with...
And I'm sure they have that mindset as well, because of California losing as bad as they did on Saturday, and they weren't able to still pass California in the regional rankings. I think that's going to be in their head throughout this game and might factor into maybe their underdog mindset.
At the tip, it's going to be Hannah Laszlo and Shatara Parsons. Tip is up, and California wins the tip, so they're going to have the first possession of this contest. Flood Francis kind of playing in where Bianca Jasper would have started. Backing it over to Mia Kushan right about the free throw line, and she sinks it for the first points of the night.
Be great for Mia Kushan to get hot. Scoring the basketball. Now mix up on the defense for California. A bit of a half-court trap here. Haven't seen this too often.
Haven't seen this, and it results in a steal, and then just like that, turns it right back over. Having that awareness on that sideline, maybe your foot was just out of bounds.
And that pressure you're seeing at the half-court line forces that bad pass into the arms of Abby Sporio, so California looking to keep up that press maybe and keep Seton Hill on their heels.
California does score the basketball better off of transition points, so it's to be a way to get more of those, as they're usually playing tight man-to-man. If they mix it up with some zone, might get a steal like we just saw right there.
And another steal over from Abby Sporio, and then turns it over yet again. So that's 2 turnovers for Abby Sporio really quick. So now Seton Hill in transition, trying to get the first bucket of the night. Cannot get it on that shot, and then right off of Mia Kushan's foot. Shot was from Jenna Kaufman, just off the side of the rim.
And so far, a lot of bad bounces going into Seton Hill's favor off of California. The 2 turnovers from Abby Sporio, and just right there off the feet of Mia Kushan.
Now we're going to get a Seton Hill inbound play over to Trest. Trest, that scoring threat for this Seton Hill team, rather, as another turnover now goes in California's way, as Flood Francis brings it across the floor for the Vulcans. Over to Abby Sporio, and then the corner to Shatara Parsons. Cross-court pass. As now we're going to see them trying to split this 2-3 zone from Seton Hill. Flood Francis shot up, no good. Trying to get that rebound was Abby Sporio, and Mia Kushan comes down with it, going right back up, and then she'll be called on the travel. So Seton Hill gets the ball right back. We're going back and forth really quick in these first 2 minutes of the game.
Not a lot of scoring, though. The defense is on top early on in this one, but for California, they struggled against teams that kind of pack it in on the defensive end. So it'll be interesting how they can, again, find those points against the Seton Hill defense.
Tress drives in, puts up a floater, no good. And Abby Sporio comes down with the rebound, and the ball kind of dribbles off of her foot. She keeps it alive. Flood Francis now with it, gives it over to Sporio.
Maybe this is a 1-3-1 defense by Seton Hill, as they have that one guard at the top. It's beginning to look like it.
Switched over in possessions, and an illegal screen on Abby Sporio will result in Seton Hill getting the ball right back. We're continuing this back and forth play.
Yeah, that just wasn't a smart play there by Sporio. She set a screen going with her offensive player, didn't save it, set the screen on a move, just kind of ran into the defender. Not a smart play at all.
Mifsud tries to get over to Kaufman. Gets it right back to Mifsud, now going to the hoop and then passing it over, and she will be called on the charge, I believe, on Lindsay Mifsud, as she was just trying to go right to the basket and toss it over. A little bit too late on the pass.
That's California's gritty defense. They like to set their feet. They don't mind taking that contact. We see DJ Hahn do it a lot.
She does put her body on the line quite a bit for this California team. It's now Sporio on the outside. Fakes the move in, then out to Flood Francis. Kind of playing hot potato out there. Now Parsons getting involved, and Parsons getting her first bucket of the night. Now California leads 4-0.
You know, the Seton Hill defense kind of clogging the middle of the court, clogging that lane. That's no problem for Shatara Parsons because we're so used to her putting up crazy shots.
And Kaufman keeps it alive. Will be called on the backcourt. That's that defense for California that you were just mentioning, Steve. This gritty defense that likes to grind it out every possession.
But right now, there are 3 people lining up on the half-court line right now, not giving Seton Hill a chance to really do anything.
Yeah, and having Shatara Parsons at the top of that half-court trap is difficult. It's hard to get around her just with her length.
No question about it, as now Parsons cannot control the pass as it goes off her fingertips.
Very sloppy play from both teams early on in this one. It's see if that maybe just the midweek blues that the teams are suffering from.
So you can really minimize these mistakes, as now Kaufman brings it across the floor working against Parsons. So it hasn't touched the ball yet right there. Hannah Laszlo, as Laszlo drives in, shot up, no good. DJ Hahn there with an easy rebound. Nobody around as a few players fell to the ground on that possession. Over in the corner to Shatera Parsons. Parsons a little bit too hard on that shot, goes right over the rim. Now in transition, California gets the ball right back. Went right off of, I believe that was Alexandra Hayes' knee.
Starting out about like our intramural game did last night.
What an interesting start. I mean, bounces all over the place.
Yeah, this is almost the same thing if we were Seton Hill. As the inbound play gives over to DJ Hahn, and then Flood Francis brings it back up to the top of the key. Parsons now, good pass, broken up, but Mia Kushan comes up with it, and an easy layup right underneath the basket. 6-0 now in favor of California.
Right now, if you're California, you have to take advantage of those plays. When you have the opportunity, get in the lane, you got to capitalize, and they did.
Alexandra Hay takes it coast to coast and goes right to the hoop. Their first bucket of the night.
Able to beat the press, and once you beat that press, you have numbers initially. Seton Hill did right there and got right to the basket.
Now with Flood Francis. Gives over to Hahn. Hahn just inside the three-point arc, but she's still hot from that spot as she sinks it.
Those are shots that California needs to hit on a regular basis. Those open mid-range shots, California's kind of struggled against those in the past few weeks.
Now Trest with it. Pressured by quite a few California players, 3 ensuing defenders, but she takes it right at the hoop, no good. And Shatera Parsons comes out with the easy rebound. Then slows it right back down with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this first quarter of play. A break up there by Alexandra Hay. Hay working against Sporio in transition. Shot up, no good. There's a foul called pretty late on that one as well, as the shot was already up in the air and Hay was on the ground before they called a foul.
That's Abby's second foul, so the point guard for California picking up 2 quick fouls not even halfway through this first quarter.
Looks like there's going to be a sub in for her. Flood Francis talking to Jess Strom over there on the sidelines, as Hayes' shot up is good.
Gina Valacorsa is going to come in. This is someone that we've seen running the point when Abby Sporio's out, as well as Bianca Jasper. Usually Bianca Jasper would be running that point guard position, but now Abby Sporio stepping up. But with 2 fouls, bringing in Gina Valacorsa, someone who's more of a perimeter shooter, now forced to maybe drive sometimes, and that's really not her game.
And Hayes sinks both, as she is a 71.7% free throw shooter. She's automatic from the line. Valacorsa running the point, like you mentioned, Steve. A little bit of commotion over there in the lane. Over to Parsons. Parsons goes right over Trest. No good on the shot. And Mia Kushan tries to get it back up. No good as well. Now in transition. Trest has it and then slows it right back down over to Kaufman. Excuse me, Misfit. Subbing, Courtney Cecere coming in for the Griffins. And a turnover from the Griffins as Parsons goes right to the hoop and gets the shot to fall.
Quick move there by Parsons. California's going to need more of that. This pace was kind of slowing down. I was just about to say it's not in California's favor, but now it's starting to pick back up.
Hay puts the shot up as it was a charge called. Floater on that one, and Hayes not very happy about that as it's the first media timeout. And you know, California coming out, a lot of turnovers at the beginning, but also Seton Hill, quite a few turnovers, going right back and forth. And we're going to take a look at these standings, why this game means so much. See right there, California and Seton Hill both in the 3 and 4 spot. Teams above them, though, are playing tonight as well, IUP and Edinboro.
On ESPN3, nonetheless. Online, you can watch that. But IUP, Edinboro, the top 2 there. California, Seton Hill, that 3 and 4 spot. This game is extremely important because you never know. Seton Hill could just move their way up right past California. These are some big 2 games coming up here in Saturday against Clary.
No doubt about that. And, you know, California, they want to sit at that third spot. They don't really want to move that much. Now we're going to look over at the PSAC East. And Westchester solidified their spot as well as East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, and Westchester sitting right behind California as well in the regional rankings. Actually, in between these two teams in the regional rankings, it's California 6, Westchester 7, and then Seton Hill 8. So just that factored into this game, I think. Also, as we take a look at those regional rankings now, the PSAC right there holds the 6, 7, 8 positions as well as those 2 and 3 at the top. So big game implications for sure. But I think once this becomes PSAC tournament play, we'll really see that the West, I think this season has much more depth and much more overall play, much better overall play than the East. And I think that'll factor into the regional rankings late and could make or break both these two teams' regional rankings.
And there's no question about that, just how much skill this PSAC West has, just due to the fact that 4 of the teams in the regional rankings are all PSAC West teams, and also that California is above the leader in the PSAC East.
Yeah, that's definitely something as California sitting at 3. But really these two teams, what you're looking at now at the end of the season quickly is that these teams, who they play, who they have to travel to before making it to the PSAC final. The semifinals, if they have to travel to Edinburgh or IUP, can make a big difference. TJ
Hahn is shot up and good inside the three-point line yet again. The score is now 12-4. This press continues to work against Seton Hill. Tress gives it over to another new sub in, Sydney Raybold. Tress has it, and California's playing some good defense, early defense, as she'll be called on the travel. Looks like she slipped a little bit on that one. Not really a normal movement you'd see out there on the floor.
I think California is in this, they're pressing, they're three-quarter court pressing and half-court trapping off of made buckets, and I think that's to encourage California from Coach Strum to try to get to the bucket quickly and try to get quicker baskets as force turnovers on the defensive end.
Jenna Kaufman comes up with it. After California, another turnover on offense. Kaufman then getting it right back over to Trest. Trest, for a freshman, touching the ball quite a bit here tonight, and her first bucket of the night as well.
And something we need to look out for as well is California doesn't have the deepest of benches now with Bianca Jasper injured. Don't know if we'll see her here tonight, but for California, can they keep up this high tempo pace and as well as keep their feet under them and not get too worn out?
Injury bug striking both California's men's and women's team this season, it seems like, towards the end. Under 10 seconds left on the shot clock now. Gives her over to Valacorsa. Valacorsa driving in, picks up her dribble, and then puts the shot up. No good, but she'll be called on the travel with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Again, another example of California, if they can't score early in the possession, they just struggle on the offensive end. Half-court sets are not California's strong suit.
It's now Kaufman. Gives it over to Raybold. Kaufman still working against Parsons. And a foul called on Jenna Kaufman, so California gets a ball back. And these are the possessions you need to take advantage of if you're head coach Jess Strom.
Yeah, definitely, and the offensive fouls are racking up for both of these teams, especially Seton Hill. I believe all of their 3 fouls have been offensive fouls.
Valacorsa now slowing down the pace just a bit with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Over to Flood Francis. Now 15 seconds left on the shot clock. TJ Hahn drives in, puts up a shot. No good. California comes down with the rebound.
Seton Hill mixing up their defense, started out in the zone, now they're playing man-to-man defense.
Now TJ Hahn, that hot shot out there on the floor. That's a big three-pointer now for DJ Hahn.
It's 3 for 3 from DJ Hahn as well in this game, giving her 7 points. And when she's shooting the basketball well, that pays out big for California.
You know, something that she did in this game that we didn't see much in other games before, she's working her way out past the three-point arc.
And a three-pointer answer there from Seton Hill, no good. Valacorsa keeping it alive right there on the baseline.
But I was saying, she had a mid-range jumper, a very long 2, and then now working her way past the three-point arc. I think in games before, she just went straight at it and just tried firing away at those threes. Now really finding her range in this game.
Now another shot from DJ Hahn, no good off the back of the rim on that. It's a good miss as Miyaku Sean gets a shot up and good, so still cashing in on the possession.
Yeah, it was a heat check there from DJ Hahn, right on cue there from Steve. she's not afraid to shoot the basketball, and I think that can be a good and a bad thing there for California, but I think it's what they need right now after that abysmal loss on Saturday.
Now Seton Hill driving in, no good on the layup, and California getting the ball right back. Now with Gina Valacorsa. Valacorsa gives it over to Kushan. Passing all around that three-point arc. It's now Parsons shot up, no good, too hard yet again. Flood Francis keeping it alive with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. And she's driving in right to the hoop, puts a shot up and good. Tough move to the basket.
Seton Hill's clogging that lane, but California somehow managing to get the shots up and getting the shots to land.
Now Valacorsa gets the steal, 23 seconds left, and shot up, no good. Actually, excuse me, it was good, but she traveled, so we'll negate the shot anyways.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of contact there as well. Not too often you see more offensive fouls called in a quarter than defensive fouls, but that's what we've seen so far. 3 offensive, only 2 defensive fouls. Valacorsa got called in a couple of travels that could have been a foul or a travel.
Without a question on that. There's now 22 seconds left. Tress gets it over to Sasir. Now a shot up, a three-pointer up, no good. As a few players combine to touch the ball last, we're going to see Seton Hill, I believe, will retain possession.
Seton Hill's all out of sorts in the offensive end. They're going to have to calm down and try to get easier baskets, kind of forcing their way into California, how California sometimes plays when they can't figure out things in the offensive end.
And a shot up there by Katie Nolan be good, and now she will go to the line with 10.8 seconds left. Nolan is a 60.6% free throw shooter. She's also a freshman, so quite a few freshmen out here getting involved for the Griffins. Shot up and no good. Now under 10 seconds left to go. Flood Francis driving to the basket. No good on the shot. Trying to keep it alive, and they do. And there's a foul called on the Griffins. That is on Courtney Sasir, so that's her first here tonight. Now California has a chance to extend their lead with just 0.7 seconds left in the first quarter of play.
Flood Francis is getting her hustle points right there, able to fly through the air and grab that ball. She really came out of nowhere. Just her athletic ability was able to grab that basketball.
No good at the line on her first.
But Gianna Flood Francis, this is a player that we've seen kind of struggle towards the end of the game, not used to playing those 40-minute games.
Yeah, she always subs out, it seems like. We're going to see a shot up here at the buzzer, no good. So at the end of the first quarter, California is up 20-8. Stay tuned. We have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter, or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center. At the end of the first quarter, California leads 20-8, and a game where a whole lot of turnovers from both sides. Once again, I am Danny Beck, and joined alongside me here tonight is Stephen Ruffing and Dylan Godet. And Steve, I mentioned before, there's quite a few freshmen playing for Seton Hill, maybe a little bit less of experience, but they showed the last time that the Seton Hill team could contend with California.
Right, and of course you said it at the away, and I think maybe Seton Hill was coming into this game thinking California's down off that IUP, after that IUP loss, maybe California will roll over, but California, maybe that's why they're pressing at half court, showing Seton Hill they're not going to roll over, playing some hard-nosed defense, and really showing Seton Hill that this is a different California team they've played in the past.
Yeah, we haven't seen this press come out of California in quite some time, this early on in the contest as well. But nonetheless, it's working thus far as they have a 12-point lead at the end of the first quarter. So now we're going to see Cecile with it, trying to push it over to the outside, and she eventually does over to Mifsud. No good. Katie Nolan shot up and good underneath the hoop, working against a much smaller Gina Valacorsa. Now, California bringing it across the half-court line. Keeping that same look out there on the floor as well. Gina Valacorsa shot up, no good. Right there to get the rebound was Gianna Flood-Francis. It's that ferocious style that Gianna Flood-Francis plays with, that grit, something that Jess Strom likes to have out there on the floor with Mickey Glenn last season. Now kicking around just a bit. Post move from DJ Hahn, and then Mia Kushan tries to get the rebound, couldn't handle that rebound. So now with Kaufman, gives it over to Tress, and then gets it right back. And a turnover as California comes up with the basketball. Now with Shatara Parsons going to the hoop, and good, getting the friendly roll from the rim.
Shatara Parsons, that's basically what we see out of Shatara Parsons every game. Finding those holes in the lane, even beating a defender to get there. Tough shots that she makes just look so easy.
It's now working outside, then turn over the ball yet again. So sloppy play here from the Griffins. Still down by 12.
Seton Hill not starting this game off on the right foot, and definitely having some problems here in California getting the transition points like we mentioned in the opening. That's the key for California to get those transition points, and they have.
Keeping it alive on the baseline was DJ Hahn. Then in the corner, DJ Hahn shot up, no good. And then Shatara Parsons keeping it alive right over to Gianna Flood-Francis. So that relentless play on offense from California. 2 opportunities to get second chance points, and then they eventually cash in. Now we're going to look at some team leaders for California. Those ones that can really, you can lean on out there on the floor, and you see that name that sticks out right away, Shatara Parsons.
Yeah, definitely. In the past few games, she hasn't gotten into too much of foul trouble early in games, but that really will be the only thing that hinders her ability. Her motor is 100% all the time, and you could definitely see that by just the beginning of this game. And Bianca Jasper, again, leads the team in assists, but I don't think we'll see her here tonight. They're trying to rest her up due to her injury. And for Seton Hill, their team leaders a bit all over the place as well. This is a team that gets their scoring there from Kaufman, the leading scorer and the leading rebounder there. So hasn't seen her get too involved in this game so far, so that'll be a big factor for them the rest of this game. Tress there leading the team in assists and minutes, and Hay leading the team in steals. And Tress, young player there for Seton Hill. See her there for years to come. Just a freshman out of Canaan Mac. Very high expectations for her. Nice to see the players from the Mon Valley. That's a little bit outside the Mon Valley there in Canonsburg, but near our neck of the woods getting some love.
And with 14.8 points per game, she might be a superstar, Dylan. We're going to see her if she can kind of beat up on California here tonight, or if California can really lock down on her. She only has 2 points. It's really due to that press that California is pushing on these Griffins here today in the Convocation Center. Seton Hill will inbound the ball on the far baseline. Over to that talented freshman, Trest. And then Cecile gets it right back. Mifsud now working against the new sub-in, BB George. Passing it around to Katie Nolan. Nolan, good shot in the lane, and it will fall. It's now California, 7 minutes and 40 seconds left before halftime. Find themselves still up by 12, 24-12. Kicking the ball away, kind of a soccer kick out there.
Nice little volley right back to Gianna Flood-Francis.
You could hear the contact on the ball from here across the court.
It's kind of punted away into the first row bleachers. And that's stolen away from Jenna Kaufman. Kaufman working to the lane and be blocked by Shatara Parsons. We haven't seen Parsons with many blocks in the past few games, but right when we came back from winter break, it kind of seemed like she was on a block streak.
Yeah, definitely. And there's just a forced attempt there by Kaufman, maybe frustrated with her lack of scoring so far on this one. But they're 1-on-2 break, 1-on-3 becoming, and she didn't have any open look to the basket, but still tried to force that one up. California kind of gets stuck in positions like that sometimes as well.
Pass break up there from Shatera Parsons, and Parsons cashes in.
And California couldn't ask for a much better start to this one. Playing up-tempo, getting their transition points, getting points off turnovers. Exact textbook California basketball right now.
Without a doubt, it is, as now Cecile gets the ball, pushes it right over to Tress. Tress shot up and good. That's that playmaking ability that we see from the young freshman. So now Gina Valacorsa brings it across half court. Over to George, and George's pass gets slapped away from Mifsud.
And mentioned Tress there as a freshman. This team has a little bit of both. They have the experience with 3 starting seniors on this team, but a lot of freshmen playing big minutes. Therefore, Seton Hill, that's interesting team dynamics, I think, having seniors and then freshmen on the team, because these freshmen are getting the chance to learn off of 3 starting seniors in the lineup and get some experience for where they can lead this program for years to come.
Alexandra Hayes subbed in for Cheyenne Trest. California keeping it alive, and then a foul was called on Seton Hill, and that's going to be called on number 5, Lindsay Mifsud. Push Parsons right to the ground. I see an inbound play here with Gina Valacorsa. Over to BB George, she keeps it alive. Almost over her head, but nonetheless. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left before halftime.
Seton Hill back in that 1-3-1. Everybody going to steal a few possessions to go, see if they can get another one here.
Over into BB George, but it'll be off of Seton Hill's hands. With 11 seconds left on the shot clock, California really has to draw something up here.
Talk about clogging the center of the court. That's exactly what a 1-3-1 does. You have 3 players in the middle of the court at all times, and it really causes team problems.
Gina Valacorsa waits, is very patient, puts a shot up and good off the glass.
And California can just do just that, is shred. You know, one of the those zone defenses, just like that. They pass the ball, find those open points, and get some buckets out of it.
Seton Hill, an errant pass gives California the ball right back. And just this camaraderie with Jess Strom and the players out there on the floor. And they know exactly what Jess Strom wants to see, and they try to replicate that every single game. As
we just saw her talking to Gina Valacorsa right there, I think that's a moment where Valacorsa is being put in a position she's not used to, handling that point guard duty. Coach Strom just coaching her throughout the whole way. That's just tales of a great coach there in Coach Strom.
Having that basketball IQ, that's huge for a head coach, as Flood Francis will be called on the travel. Seton Hill getting the ball right back. We're into Alexandra Hay. California kind of leaning off of that press that they were really putting on Seton Hill in that first quarter of play. So now Kaufman puts up a floater, no good, and a foul called on number 4, BB George.
BB George is a player that could bring a lot of intensity to this California team, but her talent was cut short last year. She had to redshirt because of that knee injury. You see, she has to wear that brace. She still provides a lot of speed and intensity, but just think about how good she could have been last year.
Without a doubt about it, as Kaufman sinks her first. She's an 83.8% free throw shooter. Seton Hill getting back on defense as well. As Kaufman, no problem from the line. Coach knows his players out there on the floor for Seton Hill. Floyd Francis running the point now. Gets a screen from Parsons, trying to give it right back to her, but a little bit of pressure as DJ Hahn tries to keep it alive, and she does, but right over to Cecile, Courtney Cecile, as Seton Hill with 4 minutes and 55 seconds left before halftime. Trying to get back into this contest. So Laszlo turns the ball over, right over to Shatera Parsons. Parsons drives in, sizes up her opponent, goes to the hoop, and gets it to fall.
sometimes I don't even know how she finds those open spots in the lane to just do that. Just drives right around her opponent.
It's now in the corner. Mifsud getting away from her matchup and then putting up a shot, no good. Gina Valacorsa has it now for California. Slowing this tempo down just a bit with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left before halftime. Parsons picks up her dribble, shot up, no good. Good rebound there from Jenna Kaufman as well. Kaufman now passes over to Hay. Hay wide open, no good. And Mifsud right there to get the rebound yet again for Seton Hill.
Seton Hill's going to have to hit open threes like that if they want to try to come back in this one.
And Laszlo gets a wide open shot from underneath the basket. She was one of those matchup nightmares for California that first time these two teams played at Seton Hill. We haven't made her impact known here today. She's a starter, came out quite a bit, only has 2 points. So now BB George puts up a shot and good.
There's a smart drop to the bucket there by BB George. Sometimes California, again, will just throw shots up when they get to the lane. BB George, nice, strong two-step go in through the lane, and it was just a smart play that we're not accustomed to seeing.
And Kaufman's shot was blocked by Parsons, and she gets the ball right back for her offense. Now Flood Francis puts up a shot, no good. She'll be fouled going to the hoop, so we're going to see her at the line yet again.
And just more hustle from Gianna Flood Francis, more intensity. It's nice to see that from, she's a junior, she's transferred in from Salem. Having her for another year and even having BB George coming up, a lot of intensity and a lot of speed, in the future of the Vulcans.
Flood Francis, first shot, no good. Mia Couchon coming in for BB George. It's more of that rebound ability out there on the floor for California. That's what they need here today. Still up 32-19 as Flood Francis is at the line with 3 minutes and 4 seconds. No good on her second as well. And Seton Hill comes down with the rebound. Tress came right back in, and then Alexandra Hay shot up and good, shrinking that lead down to 10.
And this is something California can't do. Let Seton Hill get hot from beyond the arc. Let them get hot anywhere on the court, because California had them in the palm of their hands, and now kind of letting them come back a little bit.
Switching over to Parsons. Now Parsons puts up a shot and good. That's Parsons' 12th point here tonight with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left before halftime. Now Kaufman, California letting her shoot, and she gets the friendly roll off a few bounces in the rim, and California forced to call a timeout.
That's not too often California will call timeouts as they try to just work things out on the court, but right there California gave up 2 threes in a row, and now this lead is cut to single digits. And Seton Hill just grinding away. Too many times this season, California in games like this let it close up when they could easily blow teams out.
No doubt about that. And California, just letting them shoot open threes on that possession. That was what Seton Hill cashed in on, and here's what we cashed in on our California University Television Facebook. So we get all of our content pushed out to our viewers, and for me being outside from Harrisburg, you guys relatively close, but everybody can keep up with us here at CUTV and kind of follow along with us as the seasons progress.
If we get a little incentive here, if we can get 20 more likes out of somewhere, we could possibly get milkshakes here with CUTV. So be our 20th like, and I'll follow you on Facebook. What else more would you want?
I'll follow you on Facebook too if we get some milkshakes. I don't know how Dylan will react to those milkshakes, but
probably not very well, but it's my guilty pleasure. There's milkshakes.
As California comes back out onto the floor. Up by 9. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left to go before halftime. Gina Valacorsa brings it across half court. Flood Francis playing hot potato yet again, and then Flood Francis puts up a shot, no good. Katie Nolan coming down with the rebound for Seton Hill.
California unable to get points off of that timeout. Big possession there on the offensive end, unable to convert.
Katie Nolan now pressured by DJ Hahn. And Tress gets it right back out at the top of the key. 1 minute and 47 seconds left to go before halftime. Kaufman puts up a shot off the glass, no good. And Valcorsa coming down with the rebound. Valcorsa yet again running this point for the Vulcans. 15 seconds left on the shot clock now. That same spot out there on the floor, Valcorsa sits, but Parsons takes it in yet again. She's a force there in the lane.
Tough angle there on that shot, but she's just able to extend with her length and get to the bucket.
DJ Hahn tripped a little bit, and now she's holding her ankle as California goes the other way in transition. Under a minute now.
Seton Hill's kind of mixed up the zone. They're trying to keep it inside the three-point line. And it's factored into their run here.
DJ Hahn, no good on the shot. And she will be fouled by DJ Hahn as well.
DJ Hahn still in a little bit of a discomfort over there. She seemed to take that shot fine. Just need a little more range on it. Had that arc, but kind of still working with that ankle a little bit.
That's her favorite spot out there on the floor too, that corner three. Closest point to the basket. Jenna Kaufman, pressured by DJ Hahn, and there's a push on that one. Tries to plead her case. Should be called on the second consecutive foul for California. That's her team's third, so staying out of foul trouble for the time being are the Vulcans. California up by 11. It's now Sydney Raybold for Seton Hill. Possession is big for Seton Hill, just getting some momentum. Trying to go down by at least under 10 if they could. Now in the corner, Alexandra Hay shot up and good in the corner. Now the shot clock goes off.
Big shot there. Odds are they're going to be within 10 at half, and I think that's where Seton Hill wants to be here after that slow start for them.
And Shatara Parsons will be fouled on that one by Jenna Kaufman. Attempting two from the line now. She has 14 points here tonight. Her first is no good off the back of the rim. She's one of those consistent free throw threats for California. She's about 70.8%. Her second is sunk, so now California goes up by 9. 4.8 seconds left before halftime. Seton Hill trying to push it up the floor. Hay shot up and no good. So that's how this first half of play will end. California up 37-28. Well, stay tuned as we have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome. Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center with just about 2 minutes and 30 seconds before this second half begins. Welcome back into the broadcast. I am Danny Beck, and joined alongside me is Stephen Ruffing and Dylan Goday. And California leads in this one 37-28. Let's look at these halftime stats and really break down how California's bounced out to this pretty decent-sized lead, Steve.
Well, those field goals are a lot. California's shooting a lot. You know, same with Seton Hill, but California just kind of taking advantage of more. The three-point, California, we know that they're not a three-point team. Seton Hill really taking advantage. They've made 4 out of their 10 free throw percentage is in favor of Seton Hill. 2 for 6 for California, 4 for 5 for Seton Hill. The rebounds, just like you would expect, California, a lot thanks to Shatara Parsons. She is a big body under the hoop. Turnovers, 16-12 in favor of Seton Hill. Steals, California has 10, which it always surprises me when you see the steals that California has. To me, I always see more than what they actually have, and that's how we have the 37-28 score in favor of the Vulcans.
And a lot of those turnovers for Seton Hill were really on that maybe first 4 minutes of that first quarter. It kind of seemed like that's when California was putting the pressure on Seton Hill, and they were getting the ball right back, and that's how California bounced right back out to their lead. Now we're going to look at these regional rankings yet again, and Dylan, we were talking about in the pregame how California is sitting just at a 6th spot, and the leader of the PSAC East is right on the 7th spot. So just how powerful this PSAC West is.
And how important this game is as well, because the leader will have the upper hand on who's on top of who in these regional rankings. The loss for California could be detrimental to their season, but California with the advantage now. If Seton Hill's able to battle back here in this game, that'll be huge for them. They'll have 2 wins over California, which will look great on a resume come regional ranking time at the end of the season.
And you're talking about how pivotal this game is, and right there we can see it. California sitting at that 3 spot in the PSAC West, and right behind them are Seton Hill with that 4 spot, 19-7 overall. And IUP and Edinburgh are playing right now on ESPN3. We have that feed up right to the right of us, and you know these teams, they're ferocious, and IUP beat California by 30 last week, and Edinburgh beat California as well. So this California team really needs to lock down here tonight and play a strong second half.
Yeah, absolutely. We're fighting for that playoff game on Monday. So these next 2 games are huge in the PSAC West. Clarion and, of course, the Seton Hill team. 2 winnable games, but, you know, when it comes to crunch time, sometimes that stress can get to you as a team.
This California team is experienced, a little bit less experienced than teams in the past, but nonetheless, quite a few of these players have been together for quite some time. As Gianna Flood-Francis gets the inbound ball for the second half of play. Abby Sporio in the corner now over to Flood-Francis yet again. Trying to get Flood-Francis open on offense. Cannot, so they have to go the other way. Over to Abby Sporio. Sporio kicks it out to Parsons. Parsons shot up and good.
Tara Parsons, she continues that hot run she was on in the first half.
Now Laszlo underneath the hoop and gets a shot to fall. But late getting over there on defense.
Quick answer there by Seton Hill. Didn't see that too often in the first half. Them able to answer California's buckets, but here you can see that they're staying in that 1-3 run, extending a little bit more than they did in the second half. Now they're packing it in, and I think that was an adjustment that they made halfway through that first half.
Flood-Francis over to Sporio. Sporio no good, trying to get her own rebound. She cannot as Jenna Kaufman corrals it.
Sporio, someone we haven't seen since the first 5 minutes of the whole game.
So now with Hay, gives it over to Kaufman. Kaufman shot up, no good off the front of the rim. Now in transition, Tresh tried to get her hand on it. Could not, just out of her reach. 8 minutes and 35 seconds left. California is still up by 9. Over to Kushan. Kushan shot up. No good. Laszlo there to get the rebound. Kaufman pushes it over to Laszlo yet again and gets her pocket picked right there with Mia Kushan. Kushan one-on-one, shot up and good in transition.
And it's so nice having Mia Kushan back in the lineup. that 1-2 punch provided with Shatara Parsons and Mia Couchon.
And trying to get the ball back, and California does. Now Couchon going to the rim yet again, high up off that backboard, and good yet again for Mia Couchon. Now Seton Hill forced to take the timeout.
Big 4 points there for California. It looked like Seton Hill may have been working their way back into this ball game, but Mia Couchon with 2 big possessions in a row.
That's huge for California, getting the ball back. We mentioned that they have to limit these turnovers, and on that first, 2 minutes of that game, Seton Hill hasn't learned to really lock down on those turnovers. And now we're gonna look at our Twitter. And Dylan, you're a big Twitter guy. Break this down for us.
Yeah, follow our Twitter there at CUTV_PA. Keep up to date with all of our information and stay up to date with the stuff really behind the scenes here at CUTV. Always exciting stuff on our Twitter page. You get links to our YouTube page as well. So give us the follow there on our Twitter page.
Maybe if we still get 20 likes on our crew photo at the end, Gary will give us some milkshakes. What do you say? That's 2 opportunities for some milkshakes. So I'm always down for it, as this game, if it gets out of hand, we might see California score 100. That's the only other way that we'll get milkshakes. I haven't received a milkshake here with CUTV yet. I know you guys did.
It's been a while.
We
have jinxed it.
Did you?
Yeah, we jinxed it because the first time they did score 100 points, we said, hey, every time this happens, we'll get milkshakes. And then since we said that, haven't gotten the chance to have milkshakes.
At first, we were really flexing those milkshakes. So, karma came right back at us and told us. We even got some pity milkshakes the one time. We just decided to go. Maybe that's the one. That's the one
that got us. Yeah, that's it got you guys. I didn't really jinx anything, but thanks for spoiling it for everybody else. As Seton Hill will inbound the ball on the baseline with Jenna Kaufman. And now this pressure is pushed back on the Griffins. Trest and Kaufman combining to get across half court. Now pressured by Shatara Parsons, and she will be called on the travel, so that defense coming up big for California. Now with Flood Francis, brings it across midcourt. 7 minutes and 35 seconds now left to go in this third quarter of play. Flood Francis no good on the shot. Coming out the rebound was Jenna Kaufman. Defense kind of pulling away for California. And Trest forced to retreat. Ball picked out by Shatara Parsons, and now there will be a jump ball, and the Griffins will retain possession with 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
A lot of hustle. Both sides. Trest almost lost that ball, jumped right on it. Shatara Parsons was all over her back. Trest, luckily with a veteran move, jumps right on that ball and just protects it.
California now trying to extend their 13-point lead on defense now. Over to Laszlo. Laszlo with 3 seconds left to shoot. Has to put a shot up. Jenna Kaufman at the buzzer, and it is good.
That was a big possession there for Seton Hill out of that timeout. Wanted to get a bucket to keep within striking distance, and they were able to do so.
Now with Flood Francis, yet again at the top of the key. Pushing it over and then retreating yet again. Decides to go to the rim, no good. Mia Couchon tries to get the rebound. Everybody kind of tipping it away. Abby Sporio gives it over to Flood Francis yet again. That fresh shot clock is allowing California to utilize their offensive possession, but then they eventually turn it over. So now with Alexandra Hay, over to Trest. Trest, long three-pointer up and no good. Could not corral it on the rebound was Abby Sporio. And then right there, Mia Couchon gets the rebound. Now in transition, Parsons fake to give in and gives it right back out to DJ Hahn. Back and forth, kind of using a little bit of a triangle on that. Flood Francis tries to rifle a pass in over to Shatara Parsons, eventually gets it, then drives to the rim. Shot up and good.
Parsons continues her fantastic night with 19 points. Seems like she's getting points on nearly every possession for the Vulcans.
It's really the story of this season. Mia Couchon and Shatara Parsons really carrying this team, as DJ Hahn kind of combines with that one as she comes down with the rebound. She's also one of those threats out there on the floor for California this entire season. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left before the fourth quarter begins. Hahn in the corner, shot up, no good. Waiting on that one. She gets those friendly rolls off that rim here at home. And missed now. Her three-pointer up and good. California, that's not the swing you'd want, as now they find themselves only up by 10.
That's a big three. California coming off possession with no points, and Misfit just kind of rubbing in California's face with that three.
Abby Sporio shot up, no good, but she will get her own rebound after quite a few players tipped it around.
This game's becoming very similar to the game against UPJ a couple weeks ago for California. Big lead in the first half, but started to lose that come the second half.
And Parsons relentless on the rebound as she gets her first rebound, puts a shot up, no good. Second falls. So California and Shatara Parsons just showing their spirit out there on the floor here tonight. And Parsons will be called on the reach-in foul.
Her first foul. Really staying disciplined. We've seen her get into foul trouble at this point, you know. Maybe she has 3 fouls in other games in the third quarter, but right now, looking at 1 foul for Shatara Parsons. So matching that discipline with her is scoring ability.
And that last game with IUP, she's one of those players that really was in that hot seat when it comes to fouls, and she needed to be a player that was out there on the floor for a majority of the minutes. But right when she got into foul trouble, she had to come out, and Jess Strom doesn't like to take her out of ball games. She likes to keep her in there just because of how much of a scoring threat she is. And California up by 12 now. If you look out here on your screen, the CGB Sports 1, our YouTube page, where we post all the replays of games, highlights, and analysis from 3 of us, as well as our WCAL announcers here tonight, Anthony D'Agostino and Colin Kirkwood. So make sure to look us up on YouTube and give us a subscribe. I guess that's what they call it on YouTube. So
I think our YouTube has around 500 subscribers, which is pretty decent there. YouTube YouTube is something that California, well, here, kind of maybe getting subscribers isn't our end goal now with CUTV. It's more keeping up with us on our social media, because all of our games now, come next season, all home games will be live on the PSAC network for all sports that we cover. So that'll be where you would catch us more often now, is on that PSAC network.
And I believe they're also moving over to volleyball next year.
So the sports on the PSAC network that have to be on the PSAC network. This year they tried it with only basketball. Next season it's going to be basketball, football, and women's volleyball.
Yeah. So definitely, we'll be very busy here at CUTV come next fall. So if you're interested in possible schools out there, might be a place to go if you want to do some volleyball broadcasts, for sure.
Volleyball broadcasts, as well as just getting some experience in general. The opportunities we have here at CUTV are unlike anywhere else, as Tresh shot up and no good, but Katie Nolan gets a rebound. Tresh another shot, this time from three-point line, and she sinks her shot. So now California up by 9.
Now Seton Hill starting to heat up. California can't let these possessions go to waste. They have to take advantage of every single possession.
Exactly what I was going to say, Steve. Almost imperative that they have to take advantage of every possession, as Parsons keeps it alive, gives it over to Mia Kushan, but California and Jess Strom will be called on the timeout. Just got this stat sheet, Steven. Break some of these stats down with 3 minutes and 35 seconds left to go.
You know, what I was looking for is Shatara Parsons' stat. She has 21 points. I wanted to see how many steals and how many rebounds she has. She's 8 rebounds, 4 steals. I thought she was going to be testing for that triple-double, but not enough steals. She could have a little more rebounds come this game. She has 8 right now, so looking for the double-double right now. But California, speaking of rebounds, 25 total for California, 17 for Seton Hill. In shooting, California shooting 50%, 22 for 44 from the field. Seton Hill 13 for 32 from the field. So California just needs to keep that up.
That they
keep
do.
Going.
And Seton Hill, though, they're packing this zone in. See if that ends up affecting that 50% shooting. See if that goes up or down, and really be determined in the final score of this game.
Great move by Mia Kushan to split the defenders of Seton Hill and get right to the basket as she cashes in right underneath the hoop. It's now Trest pressured, gets it across half court and over to Cecile. Now right underneath the basket over to Katie Nolan, and she cashes in.
Now Seton Hill is figuring out what California is doing when they're pressing that half court. Going, launching that ball forward, finding someone in the lane, getting those points that way.
But Francis uses the screen from Parsons. Gets over to Kushan. Kushan shot up, no good. Right there to get the rebound is Courtney Cecile. Thrown down by Cecile was Mia Kushan. Now right to the hoop, Alexandra Hay, and she cashes in. Just like that, Griffins cut this lead down to 7.
And that's what happens. California letting a couple possessions go to waste, not getting those points. Kind of a cold streak. It's a game of runs, and the Griffins are on one right now.
And that was Hayes' 12th point here tonight. She's one of those threats out there for Seton Hill. Flood Francis, no good on the three-point attempt. And now Hay, headlong pass over to Cecile. Cecile puts a shot up. She will be fouled hard on that one as Cecile goes right into the hoop. Mia Kushan.
She's holding her knee, and that does not look good as well. She went flying into that basket, and that would be another big loss for California if she suffered an injury here.
She's that rebound help for California and Shatara Parsons, so hopefully she's okay. But nonetheless, in transition, Seton Hill just trying to throw the ball right over California's heads. Tough foul on that one. Trainers are attending to her now, but this game, we were talking about how much of a threat Mia Kushan is out there on the floor, and without her, there's a lot of rebound help, Steve.
Not only rebounding, but points. Mia Kushan, tied for second in the most points on the court right now with 12. Tied with Alexandra Hay with 12. Shatara Parsons with 21. She could score those points and get those rebounds. When we got these stats earlier in this quarter, Mia Kushan, 6 rebounds, 2 shy from Shatara Parsons. Just hustle. That's what the California Vulcans are losing.
And we mentioned the depth or lack thereof for California. That affects it as well if she's unable to come back in this game.
Kushan taken off the floor. Help from the trainer, so subbing in is BB George. Cecile missed her first. Cecile has yet to tally a point here tonight as well. 1 foul. And could not cash in on that shot as well. So California with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Lead by 7, 49-42.
And of course, you don't want any player to get injured, but that turned out to be a quote-unquote, I guess, good foul on Mia Kushan. Of course, you don't want to see people get hurt, but they didn't get points out of that.
No question about it, as BB George will sub out. Gina Valacorsa coming in for her. Now we're going to see Jenna Kaufman inbound the ball in. Trying to inbound it over to Cheyenne Tress. Tress brings it up. And I believe there is
something wrong with the shot clock, I think.
Shot clock, yeah. I believe it did not reset. So now that press that was really broken up by California is going to have to work from half court. They stack that over there. As Hay gets it in. 2 minutes now left to go. And a foul called on Flood Francis. Inbound on the baseline, so they're working up the floor, helped do a few inbound plays. Now Cecile tries to get it in, and it will go back over into the arms of Shatara Parsons. Shot up, no good. Abby Sporio, second chance point, and good.
And luckily, Abby Sporio was there. Kind of a 2-on-1. Abby Sporio picking up the scraps.
Now this press is applied on Seton Hill yet again. Now with Tress working against DJ Hahn. Over to Cecile yet again. Now switching it over to Tress. Tress tries to keep her dribble, cannot, as Gina Valacorsa comes up with the ball. Now a 3-on-2 for California, and Flood Francis elects to bring it back, slow down this offense. Over in the corner, DJ Hahn will be called on the travel, shuffled her feet just a bit before she passed the ball over to Flood Francis.
Those wasted possessions. This is a close game. It's coming down to the wire going into the fourth quarter. 51-42, 9-point lead for the Vulcans. They need to tighten up. Tighten up.
Now over to Cecile. I think also Katie Nolan kind of standing back. Almost looked like she was about to sub in for this game, but she's pressured. She's one of those taller players out there. You'd see her underneath the hoop most likely. She's trying to keep one player out of the lane for California as DJ Hahn keeps it alive. Slows herself down, makes sure she's not called another travel. Now with Flood Francis, gives it over to Valacorsa, who combines over to DJ Hahn. No good from Shatara Parsons. Second chance opportunity as the ball rolls out of bounds. Parsons thrown down to the court pretty hard.
And good no call. We've seen a lot of hands on the ball. No, not much contact really. Shatara Parsons trying to sell it, but I think it was a good no call.
Now with Gina Valacorsa on the sub-in. On the inbound play, rather. Gets it over to Flood Francis. About a 13-second difference between shot and game clock. Over to Parsons. Tough shot. Puts it up anyways, and it's good. Now the shot clock is off with 14 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
She's just able to make those tough shots that no one else really on the court for either team can.
Tress looks to give it over to Katie Nolan, and a pass breakup by Abby Sporio, keeping it alive. Shot up and good at the buzzer. California goes up 55-42 before this fourth quarter begins. Stay tuned as we have some more Vulcans women's basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Hello and welcome back into the Convocation Center here on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania, as California is up 55-42. And right there you can see on your screen Mia Kushan standing under her own power right there behind her team. So she's going to sit out for a little bit, just kind of recuperate. See if she subs back in. We'll keep you up to date with that, as California will inbound this right in front of us for the first possession of the fourth quarter. Up by 13. Valacorsa gives it over to Hahn. Passed around that three-point arc yet again. 15 seconds left on the shot clock now for California. Rifles a pass over to Sporio, then a wide open shot for Valacorsa, no good. Jenna Kaufman keeping it alive for Seton Hill. Tress gets away from Flood Francis. Over to Katie Nolan. Nolan shot up underneath the rim, no good. Tries to put the second shot up, no good as well, but she will be fouled, sending her to the line.
Nolan was swarmed by Vulcans under the net. Nolan, a big body. You want, right there under the net. going to the foul line, shooting 76.7% so far this season.
6'1" freshman, one of the taller players out there for the Griffins. No good on the first. Second shot up, no good as well. Bricked off the side of the rim. Now Flood Francis gives it over to Valacorsa. In the corner over to Abby Sporio. Sporio gets it back out. Moving around the three-point arc, trying to find somebody. Now Parsons shot up and sunk for her 25th point here tonight.
Still unbelievable from Shatara Parsons.
She's well
officially has the double-double.
I was going to say, well on her way to achieving the double-double, but has her double-double now.
Believe that's her. No, that was Mia Cushon who was on her 5th double-double. Not sure what, how many Shatara Parsons. We'll have to look into that.
Now Cecile gives it over to Kaufman. Almost had her pass picked away from Parsons. Now with Seton Hill driving in. Tress gives it over to Nolan. Nolan tries to kick it back out, eventually does. Cecile, three-pointer up, no good. Hay there for the rebound, no good, just a little bit too soft on that. Jenna Kaufman from the kind of the ear on that shot, no good as a timeout. As Abby Sporio comes up limping. Looks like she's holding her ankle, likely stepped on a rebound play like that. It's almost common.
That could put you in a lot of discomfort if someone comes down full force, full body weight on your foot. That can't feel good.
We're taking out a bunch of different players, and now Jess Strom kind of in one of those precarious situations to choose, and a lot of this depth. And you know,
she's staying out on the court though here. They're having her stay out where they need her. As you mentioned there with depth at the point guard position, a couple more injuries. Steve might have to go out there and play point guard.
I think Steve,
California.
Our 3-on-3 team was led by Steve.
No chance.
Why not get him out there, suit him up, put on a wig, why not? Now Parsons, shot up and good. If you're out there on the floor with Tara Parsons, all you have to do is just really pass to her, Steve. You could do it.
Well, that's true. Parsons out there just tearing it up, just lighting it up, 27 points.
California staying on this hot run, and they have extended this lead to almost 20 now, up by 17 points.
Hey, no good. Call that a pass, not really a shot, as she hit nothing but air on that. Now Hay trying to redeem herself, gives it over to Cecile. Cecile shot up, no good. Second chance opportunity, and that falls for the Griffins.
See, Danny, we consider that a pass in our intramural team. They don't consider that a pass here. That was an air ball there by Seton.
Giving her the benefit of the doubt on that one. As now we're going to see Gianna Flood Francis running the point guard position over to Parsons, and she will be called on the travel.
Lots of travels called in this game.
Yep.
Intriguing to know. We don't break down the specific fouls, but travel has definitely been called many times in this game.
And another sub in is Jameer Jeffries coming in for the first time here tonight. Nothing like coming in a little bit late, 7 minutes and 17 seconds left before the end of this game, subbing in for the first time.
Shatara Parsons just needed a break. It was winded out there doing a lot for this Vulcans team.
If I remember correctly, she didn't come out at all here tonight.
No.
Played majority of those minutes. So now Mifsud. Mifsud puts up a shot. Slight floater on that one as BB George comes down with the rebound. And just like that, Shatara Parsons wants to come back into this one, wants to sub back in. Didn't even get the nod from her coach, just put the towel down and came back in. So now Flood Francis gets it over to DJ Hahn. Hahn pressured a little bit, gives it over to Valacorsa. Valacorsa stops, puts a shot up, no good. And two players there for California tries to come down with the ball. Parsons comes back in just like that. Jeffries is out there for a role player, I guess you could say. Now with Cecile bringing it across half court. 6 minutes and 25 seconds left to go. Hay, three-pointer up and good. Just like that, shrunk the lead, now by 12. Flood Francis. 5 points here tonight compared to Parsons' 27. Feeding her the ball a lot here. As Parsons picks up her dribble, drives in, puts a shot up, no good. Not sure what the call is. And it will be a blocking foul on number 4. That's Alexandra Hay. He's pointing to the restricted area, so it's a look there from Anthony D'Agostino right next to me on the WCAL call for that one. As Parsons' shot will be good, giving her 28th point here tonight.
And if you're in that restricted area, it doesn't matter if your feet are set. Still can't be in there. That's exactly what happened there.
Second no good for Parsons, so her total stays at 28. Our director was telling us that you might see her get to 30 and then her sub out. And a foul called there on California. That's going to be called on DJ Hahn.
Before those free throws, Seton Hill went on a little run themselves, a 5-0 run. So they're trying to sneak back into this one.
Mia Couchon moving well over there on the bench. California, that has to be a good sign. Her first no good from Jenna Kaufman. Subs coming in. Abby Sporio for BB George. Haven't seen a lot of Hannah Laszlo here tonight as well for Seton Hill. She started this contest, but I believe she only has 4 points. It's now a little bit of pressure from Seton Hill coming up the floor. They eventually pull off. Abby Sporio had the open shot, but electing to pass. Still trying to find that pass with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. DJ Hahn, three-pointer up and good from DJ Hahn.
That one looked good from the jump, from the release to the arc to the range, everything about that shot.
California a little bit late getting over there on defense. Abby Sporio there to get the rebound, though. Now with Gianna Flood Francis. Hahn over to Parsons. Parsons wants it right back. Moving over yet again, and then eventually Parsons crashing down towards the hoop. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Over to Hahn. Hahn shot up, no good. That's gonna be a shot clock violation as Hahn didn't put the shot up off the backboard, or off the rim rather. That's gonna be our media timeout. 4 minutes and 46 seconds left to go. California up by 63-48. And guys, the last few minutes of this game, last 4 minutes, who else are we gonna see come into this game? Are we gonna see California sub out Jatera Parsons and Jameer Jeffries come back in, or what are the other matchups we could see possibly coming in?
You know, it's tough to say now that Abby Sporio is back trying to run that point. We don't really have to worry about that now. But this bench keeps getting shorter and shorter.
There we take a look at our SID staff. There's Matt Kiefer getting the stat sheets printed out there, and a lot of thanks to him there and everyone in the SID department working with CalVulcans.com. Always up to date, and I always like to say it in the broadcast as well. They make sure to have a game summary after every game. A lot of colleges don't do that, and Kiefer there and his staff make sure that happens.
We're gonna look at our upcoming broadcast, the 90s night. Steve, I don't know if you have something planned. We have the Hawaiian shirts on here tonight. What do you have planned for the Clarion game?
I don't know. I think I'm gonna bust out maybe my dad's old suit jacket that he used to wear. You know, I think even before the 90s, nice wool. But depending on how hot, it's been pretty hot in the Convocation Center lately. You never know. I maybe have something up my sleeve, but it looks like that we're the only ones that have participated in Hawaiian night, so maybe that'll be different.
Yeah,
for
interesting.
the Clarion game.
Interesting look. I don't know why nobody participated. We were feeling it. I woke up this morning early to go get Hawaiian shirts at Gabe's.
Yeah.
So dedicated, without a doubt. We are dedicated, but nonetheless, nobody else here is. Getting back into this game. Now with Jenna Kaufman, three-pointer up, no good. No
Hey,
teammate.
Saturday's 90s night, so.
Yeah, we just said that.
Yeah, we just said that, bub.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm excited for it.
Danny even asked if we had anything planned.
Yeah, and you were turned around.
I was
you were
distracted looking
eating
for
popcorn
people.
from
I was
somebody
trying
else's.
to find someone else in here with a Hawaiian shirt, but I could not find anyone.
And from the corner, Cheyenne Trust gets her shot to fall. Also something to mention, they're giving out some hats here tonight. And it's kind of weird because Anthony D'Agostino and Colin Kirkwood said that they were going to wear them on the call. Well, that's not true.
Interesting.
That's not true because they're both sitting right next to us, not wearing it. And Parsons could not get her shot to fall. She will go to the line to attempt two.
I was flinging mine around, and I'm pretty sure I was hitting my mic, so sorry if you heard that about
Yeah, no,
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we heard it. We definitely heard it, Dylan. We're just letting you go. We're letting you do your thing over there. That's what you just have to do sometimes.
I had some Skittles, so I'm a little wired on energy now. So
I mean, if you hit your mic, I don't know if that's necessarily skill. As Parsons' first is good, bringing her total to 29. Trying to reach that 30 point as Gina Valacorso will be fouled, or will foul. I believe Cheyenne, no, Courtney Sear on that one, so she will inbound the ball. That's Valacorso's first foul here tonight.
Again, the shot clock, Danny.
Said it was at 27. So they're gonna, guess, keep it at 27. Kind of weird as Alexandra Hay brings it in for Seton Hill. Over to Trest. Trest driving in, puts a shot up, nice floater over the head of DJ Hahn.
the fans behind me have just notified me that they have ran out of bucket hats, and they're trying to buy mine. So highest bidder said $100, so I might take up the offer.
Hey, I'd do it.
Man.
Gee, I'll do it. I'll sell it for $100. As Flood Francis gives her over to Sporio. Sporio shot up, no good. Trying to get that rebound was Sarah Parsons. She goes hard down to the floor. Jenna Kaufman keeps her dribble, gives her over to Hay. Hay shot up, no good. Trying to get that rebound was Abby Sporio, then keeping it alive. Another possession where Abby Sporio kind of just swatted the ball away. I know that's something that you got to get that ball and bring it down for your offense. Valacorsa gives her over to Hahn. Working around that three-point arc still. Now with 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. Flood Francis shot up, no good. Abby Sporio keeping it alive. Traveling that baseline, shot up, no good. And now Sear brings it up to 4 for the Griffins. Up by 11 are the Vulcans. And Parsons comes up with the ball. Clearly tired out there on the floor. She's played, I believe, everything but 1 minute of this game where Jameer Jeffries came in for just a little bit, and Valacorsa sinks the shot. Up by 13 now. Now with Hay switching over, working on DJ Hahn. Kicks it out over to Kaufman, shot up, no good. They're going to call a blocking foul on DJ Hahn. A late call as referee on the baseline signaled that there was a foul, but didn't signal who it was on for a few seconds. It seemed like an eternity as there was people behind us saying, make the call. As Kaufman lining up her first of 2, and she sinks the first. Not even moving the net at all on that shot. It was nothing but net. 1 minute and 46 seconds left to go in this game. And no good on the second. Flood Francis trying to break this double team, and she eventually does. Gets it back out, and then she will be fouled right in front of the referee. And that's another player that's coming up a little bit uncomfortable. It is a warm arena in here today. So that Steve mentioned that not really used to. You know, it's inside. You know, they can temperature control it, you'd think, but a little bit warm as Sporio has it now. 1 minute and 25 seconds left. It looks like they're just trying to keep this ball away from the Griffins. Working in and then off of Seton Hill, so California will retain possession. Gets it over to Parsons. Valcorsa now with 10 seconds. She will be fouled yet again. That's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Inbound play right in front of that California bench. Parsons gives it over to Valcorsa. Valcorsa gets away from her matchup. No good, and then it'll be called a jump ball. A minute and 7 left to go. Valcorsa inbounds it over to Fudd Francis, keeps it away. That fresh shot clock. Another foul call, this time on Cheyenne Trest. That's 5 fouls in this quarter, so California will go to the line.
Just look for Seton Hill to keep fouling, I guess. Minute left, 66-54, down 12. It's a bit of a stretch, but I've seen crazier things happen.
Misses the first. That California really hasn't had trouble with in the recent years, recent seasons. You know, free throws were their bread and butter. Second shot, no good as well. So Jenna Kaufman now brings it up the court for Seton Hill. Under a minute left to go now. Puts up a shot, no good. Coming down with the rebound was DJ Hahn. And working out the floor, gives it over to Parsons. Too strong of a pass right there. Shatara Parsons wanted that 30th point. She could not, as it goes right over the head of Shatara Parsons. And there's a timeout called by Seton Hill. Now we're going to look right behind us. And our Hawaiian shirts, you know, you guys look more Hawaiian than me. I look more Aztec, but it's all good.
But still, I think you're looking a little more Hawaiian than a lot of other people here. I think
the 3 that are in here.
A couple of only people with Hawaiian shirts.
And here's a look at the bucket hat as well that they were giving out to the students as well. And I actually received a lot of hate from you guys for the way I put on my shirt today. I didn't unbutton it. I just put it right on without unbuttoning it like you would put on a normal shirt, and I got hate from it.
It looked like he was putting it on like a sweatshirt. It was
wild move.
It was crazy the way he just.
They said I was going to burst some buttons, but I slipped right in, so no problems.
Maybe it's too big for you then. I'm not sure. Maybe it was too big. As play gets underway, we're still talking about our shirts, but there's basketball going on here in the Convocation Center. So now there's a jump ball. Seton Hill will keep possession, but doesn't matter. California retains this 12-point lead over Seton Hill. Cheyenne Trest gives it over to Jenna Kaufman. Kaufman then puts up a floater, no good. Abby Sporio comes up with the ball, another jump ball, but this time it will go in favor of California. California will call a timeout. And we're going to look at us again because, you know, why not? Why not? We're out here. We have nothing else to do coming down to the end of this game. And, you know, we said 90s night. I don't know what we're going to have in store, but even looking further than that, our playoffs and where we're going to go, that's something that we can really key in upon. I don't think that I'm going to be wearing anything wild to the playoffs. I think I'm just going to keep it real simple. You know, shirt and tie.
If we stay at this 3 spot, we'll be playing on Monday as well. So that will be big as well. That's the first time in a couple years that we've had to play on Monday for the women there. So the men are officially eliminated, but women do have a chance to advance on into the PSAC tournament.
That'll be something to see, and getting this victory here tonight has to bode well for their chances at that 3 spot. Kind of solidify them right there. As Parsons still in this contest, keeping the ball alive. Forced to push the ball away and gets it over to Flood Francis. Now with Sporio. About 24 seconds left to go. She will be fouled now going to the line. She just wanted to get that 30th point. She was really calling for the ball that entire possession, and then eventually gets it, and she is going to be fouled.
With this one almost locked up here for California, I believe they secured the 3 seed with the win here tonight. So that means depending on if IUP or Edinburgh, right now it's IUP on top. That'll factor in who they see if they're able to advance on in the tournament. If they can get a win on Monday. So big there for California. They want to get some sweet revenge against IUP, I think. I think that's who they want to play because they were able to defeat them once the season early on and then had a big loss against IUP on Saturday. So as a fan, I'd like to see them to get some revenge against IUP in the tournament.
That would definitely be good for the PSAC, really key in on that, just because of the fact that they're getting publicity right now with IUP and Edinburgh right here on ESPN3. So you might be seeing California.
That's really what that comes down to, who gets that #1 seed. So you see the score of that right now.
Knotted up at 47.
So
with 7 minutes left to go in that 4th quarter of play. So really good game. We have a little bit of something to do in between the men's and women's game here today. But for this California team, very big, coming back at home and bouncing right back into the win column. You can assume. I mean,
if one of those teams lose out their last 2 games, California can do the old backdoor sneak into the #2 seed there as well.
Now Jenna Kaufman working against Valacorsa. Shot clock is off, of course, as a big block there from Shatera Parsons. DJ Hahn will be fouled by Courtney Cecere. Now taking some more foul shots, and you really have to wonder in this situation. I know Seton Hill is really trying to fight for that 3 spot, but down by more than 10. You got to be thinking, why foul in that situation? And just prolonging the inevitable.
Another thing as well, if any of our fans of our high school roundup show are watching in on us today for football, big news today is Aliquippa's coach is out. So 10 times in a row, WPIAL champion head coach there at Aliquippa is no longer going to be the coach next season. So it sends some shock waves through WPIAL football.
Without a question, it will. As DJ Hahn's 2nd will be good. Score is 68-54. 2 seconds left to go now. And they will dribble the ball out, and that's how this game will end. California at home, getting back into the win column, 68-54. Any last words, guys?
Just a big win there for California. Like we mentioned, there's a possibility they could be a 2 seed. So may not be seeing you Monday. If California can get some luck go their way at the end of the season.
Yeah, like you said, Dylan, a big win to come back from that slaughtering at IUP, a 30-point loss. It's tough to get back on your feet, and they did. A 14-point win against the Griffins is pretty big.
Well, for Dylan Godet, for Stephen Ruffing, for everybody in the truck, for Gary Smith, our producer and director, I was Danny Beck. Thank you for watching Vulcans Women's Basketball right here on CUTV and live on CUTV Sports 1.